Hi, I'm Rob Andrews from Allied Brass, and today we're going to work on installing our retractable wall hook. So this item right here, when it sits in the wall, is recessed in that way, and then when you want to use it, you pull it out, and you have a little something to hang a couple of garments on, maybe drape a towel over or a robe or whatever you may need. So retractable wall hook, that's today's project. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to take this little knob, just unscrews from the top, right? And just as an aside, this knob, you can replace this knob with any knob that you like. You could be something from our offering or one of your own, but it comes with an adapter that allows you to put a standard knob on there. Okay, so we're going to remove that piece, and we're going to remove that rod. We're going to remove that rosette. So I am just going to find the spot where I want to install this. Now, this can go anywhere on the wall except into a stud. You want to be at a hollow portion of the wall. So I think, so here I know the wall is kind of hollow, but so this is where I want to install it as well. So this way, if we want to hang something, it'll kind of be behind the door and out of the way a little bit. But again, you can put it anywhere you want, anywhere that's going to be. Put them all over the place. So I'm going to say right about here looks like a good spot to me. Just put a little mark on the wall. And the first thing that we're going to do, we have a 5 30-second drill, or just any smaller drill like this will do the trick. But we're going to take and we're going to make a hole here. What we're doing here, before I do that, I'm going to use my little dust-free trick. There won't be a lot of dust here because it's a small hole, but nonetheless, we're going to keep things nice to make cleanup a little bit easier. So the way I do that is I take this piece of tape, painter's tape, so we don't damage the wall surface, put it on a piece of paper towel just like that. I'm going to put this right below the hole we're going to drill. Okay, now get the drill. Fold this up like this to catch this up. And there we go. And I'm probing that hole a little bit too, just to make sure that there's no obstructions back there. Okay, and you could also, after the hole is there, if you want to probe it with a piece of wire, just to make sure there's no obstructions, is always a good idea. So now that's done. Now, oops, I should have kept that. I'm going to do it again because we have more drilling to do. Get another piece. We're going to make another dust catcher. All right, another dust catcher right here. Okay, we're going to put that right underneath here. And so now what we got to do is we need to drill a larger hole, which is going to accommodate this housing piece right here, which is 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So to do that, we're going to use a 3/4 inch bit. I have here a what I call a tattle bit, which is something that I like to use, but you can use any 3/4 bit that works well for you. So I'm going to take that out. And there we go. It says 3/4. Going to put it in our pilot hole, catch the dust. And there we go. There's that. And see, look at all that dust that prevented from going on the floor. Worked out great. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, got to get the housing and a pencil, because we're going to need to make some marks. We're going to take the housing, we're going to stick it in the 3/4 inch hole, like that, and then you want to face it so that one of the holes pointing straight down towards the floor. All right, once you get that, you're going to just mark the 3 hole locations, like that, and then we're going to take that housing back out. Okay, once we get that done, we need our 5 30-second drill back. We no longer need the 3/4 inch drill bit. Okay, so we got the 5 30-second, and oopsie daisy, there we go. Okay, now we got that. We're going to make one more dust catcher. Just to keep it so it's somewhat clean. Okay, there's a dust catcher. Alright, now, what we're going to do is we're going to drill each one of these hole locations, and what we want to end up doing is slotting it towards the larger hole. So once we drill into the hole, we're going to slot out towards the larger diameter hole. So, right in there, and then I'm going to just push up a little bit, right there, and that's it. So now that's slotted. We're going to do the same over here, drill in, slot out, drill in, and slot towards the center. There we go, and that's it. And so our third dust catcher, which I could have just emptied them each time, but because I want to stay in the frame here, I'm not doing that. Okay, so now that we have that in place, we want to put our toggle bolts on the housing. All right, so to do that, we put the screw inside the housing right there, and then we are going to thread the toggle bolt on. Right, there we go. I'm going to thread the toggle bolt on. Now you don't want to thread it on too far, just a little bit, just so that the threads come out a little bit, and you want to make sure that when you squeeze it, it squeezes like that towards the screw, because this is what's going to end up holding everything up against the wall. Alright, so we need to do that with all three. So here is our second one. I should have put my glasses on. Alright, here we go. Alright, there's the second one. And here is the third. Okay, so now we've got these three. Now the screws are going to go, the length of the threads on the screw are going to go where we slotted the big hole. So we're just going to start getting these through like this. So now, I've got those two in the right space. And here we go. And that's the third toggle. And now we are in good shape. There we go. So all three of them are in. And now what we have to do is we have to tighten up the screws so that the toggle squeezes against the back of the wall and keeps everything in place. So we're going to do that little by little on each screw. You have to put a little backwards pressure on it so that they don't spin as we're tightening. I'm going to do a little on each screw. And I think what I'm going to do is finish this up with this screwdriver. And now just another point to note here is before you tighten the toggles up, it's good to have the rod in place so that the toggle doesn't spin to interfere with the rod. If the rod is there, it'll take up that space so the toggle can't spin to interfere. So, and once you kind of get them far enough in, then make sure that this rod is sitting up flush against the housing, and then you'll just tighten these things progressively. Again, not over tightening, just tightening enough so that they stay in place. I think we're just about there. Get a little snug. Yep. Now here's a tricky part. We need to get the rosette on, but to do that, what I want to do, take off. Oops. Bad hands that time. I want to take off the cap. Gonna put the rosette over the rod. Make sure you don't lose the rod in the wall. You just want to thread this onto the housing right there. And put this back on. And there we go. Got a little retractable hook. And that's it for the installation of the Allied Brass retractable wall hook, and we hope you enjoy it for many years. Thank you.